Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki Spiritual Healer. And so now that I have access to my first live on TikTok, and I have lives here, and when we go live on Facebook together, we wanted to make sure that you understand that, I try to do at least two videos over here, on YouTube, and we're going to try to, switch some things up. I'm going to try to do one, and then I'm going to do like a 3-minute one, just to switch some things up and to, get that time in on all the lives so you guys can get these powerful messages that I give you, and, to get the information from the holy books as we perceive it, and take this message from the direction and what the elders and the ancestors have been through in the holy books in the past, and now. We're going to go through some of those same things. So we want to take, cues. We want to take the leadership from that of the past, how they dealt with it in the book, some of the things that they saw in the book, and without that, the rhetoric that they are trying to give you in society, that you're evil, or that, you're a witch or a warlock, if you understand or you can use certain things from the holy books. So, I just wanted to let you know that, we are working very diligently to make our channel successful. And number one, I appreciate all of you, as we go live in different places. I am ecstatic. I love to be able to help people. I love to be able to help you. I hope some of my tips that I have given you, how I was able to break free from trauma and narcissistic families, as I continue to, let you know some of the things of how I escaped those demonic people and persons throughout my life, and they would definitely, call me that show, back in the 1980s with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Running Man, because I was getting the hell away from people, and I've always been that way. I've always been that way where, when I saw that there was something wrong, when I saw that there were people in my life, male or female, trying to set me up for failure, trying to create chaos, fights, disaster. Oh, I was getting away from people. And sometimes I just had to make a stand where I pull people off to the side and just tell them about their behind, and don't care how you take it. So, these are some of the things that you will have to go through as a chosen one. You will have to, in many cases, and in this society that we're living in right now, at the height of racism, we haven't seen how low they can go yet. They're still stooping low, and sometimes we'll have to meet them where they are. Like I said, we'll have to use what they use sometimes, and for me, I've had to defend myself from these narcissist people. I'm still having to defend myself from the narcissist attacks, of my own family. And you'll know as a chosen one, who is going against you, who is attacking you with witchcraft, voodoo, and sorcery, especially when you have detached from everyone in your life. When you have attached from everyone in your life, and God has sent you on a mission, and you don't, bother people, you don't mess with people, you let people be who they are, go and be great. That's my motto. Go and be great. I can't tell you what to do. I can't control you, and you will not, and just to look at you, try to control my life and make me a slave to you in any way, fashion, or form, either, in society or in my own home. I will willingly submit, to the elderly people, to the children. I willingly submit to certain men. But there are a whole bunch of you out there that, and a lot of you out there know me, you can get it. So, don't let this smooth voice and this taste fool you, because, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. And this is a lot of what's going on in society, that, they have mistaken the chosen ones for being passive. They have, mistaken the chosen ones for being, individuals that they can't come together. And now that they're seeing that the chosen ones are able to come together in order to cleanse themselves, in order to, hear these stories of how I was able to escape from these narcissists for years, how I was able to turn my light off. So these people, you need to understand. You need to understand, when these people do not have that ability that you have as a chosen one, they will become enraged with you. They are enraged with you because, they want your light. And again, I've been around guys, men, that I thought were my friends. And they told me in my family, if I had the type of money that you have, I would be an evil person. And it was time for me to go when I heard that. I have been married to men that said to me, this is the best that I've ever lived. And it was time for me to go when I heard that, because I'm not providing for you. When you're saying, wait a minute, wait just a minute, and just look at you saying stuff like that out your mouths as men. Just to look at you. Okay, this ain't what you want. I was ready to go, because that means that you're waiting for a woman to provide for you. If this is the best that you've ever lived, then you're not intending on helping me. You're intending on living off of me. And it's time for me to go. Okay, and that's what I did. And that's how I could shut my light off. I could go low vibrational. I could go, super empath. And it's time to go. And there's nothing that you can do about it. When you shut that water off on them. You got to shut the water off on some of these narcissists and some of these toxic people, in order for them to understand that, just because I am an empath, that does not make me any less human than you are. When it's time to pick up the sword and fight, I'm the first one, gonna baptize you with your blood. Okay, make no mistake about it. I like for you to underestimate me. Please underestimate me because of the way that I sound. Please underestimate me because I'm a female, because of the way that I look. And I got something for you. This ain't what you want. You thought this what you want. This ain't what you want. At the end of the day, when these people decide to come against you, and they're your own family, when they're your own flesh and blood, and you say, I'm gonna pass by, you're futile. Your time is gone. Your time is done. I'm just gonna overlook you, because your time is done. I'm gonna overlook, you're toxic. I see your demon, behind that fake. You want me to just, just stay with me. You tired? You need some rest? No, I'm not tired. God has given me, the download, and I see that entity that is behind these people that are trying to enslave the chosen one, that are trying to send negative attacks, that are trying to send psychic attacks. And, I want to be the first one to tell you that when I first noticed, this type of behavior with these narcissists and toxic people, I was, busy reflecting it back up on them. I would just, say something, off the wall, like, okay, if you want me, if it's 6 people in the family, and you want me to fold up everybody's clothes, then what is everybody else going to be doing? What are you going to be doing? Do I look like Cinderella to you? Okay, so, ordinarily, these narcissists, their mask would drop, because, I wouldn't let them, use me even as a young person. So we have to be very careful that when you have that kind of light, that kind of power as a young person, they got to get you out of there. They got to shut you down. It's either one or two things that they're going to try to do. Either you're going to submit, or they're going to, abandon you. And this is what has been happening to a lot of chosen ones, and they're not aware of why the people in their family treat them with so much disgust and so horribly and so, down. Because you won't let them dump their mess up on you, because you won't let them use you, because you won't let them take over your gifts. Because when they're sending that witchcraft and that manipulation at you, you're mimicking and you're reflecting it back up on them, and whatever they were sending to you, it attacks them and it reflects back up on, and it destroys them. This is what we do as chosen ones. This is the fight. We stand where we are, and we will defend ourselves from these narcissists and these toxic people. Return to sender. This is who we are. This is who our ancients were. This is who our parents were, that we're removing ourselves from these toxic people. But if you put me up against a wall, I'm gonna come out fighting, and this ain't what you want. I will defend myself. I will do something to you. Make no mistake. So if you think that you know me, or you think that I'm gullible in some kind of way, just step on up and you come get yourself something. And certainly this week, my family, they've stepped up. These narcissists, these toxic people, they've stepped up. They stepped in the ring with me, and I knocked them the hell out. You can have it. There's no amount of money that I'm willing to, submit to you, and you're gonna tell lies on me. I'm gonna let you, defame my name. I'm going to let you, bring me into a low vibrational state. No, I'm going to separate from you. So once you realize this as a chosen one, as an empath, as a super empath, and you know how to, turn that light off, I'm shutting that water off on them. Once you know how to do that, you're definitely going to be target. You're not going to be liked. You'll be the running man. You'll have to run away from your family and friends, people that you've known all your life. And don't feel bad about it. This is what God wanted to show you. These are the signs and synchronicities. This is what they have led up to in your life, that He has shown you about your own self, the strength in yourself, and how to cut that water off for these toxic people and narcissists. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please reach out to me in the description below if you want to know more about how to book a session and how to cut the water off for narcissists. How to identify them. How to make them flee. I always, mess up on this part. The last part, it's like, the opening and closing part of chess. And I'm going to get it right soon enough, guys. Please book a session with me. Book a one-on-one consultation, a life coaching session. Like, share, and subscribe over all of my platforms. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.